Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am here finally with my October planner flip throughs. So let's go ahead and get into it. A couple of updates. I am, of course, still kind of on my hiatus for the holiday season. It has been a while since I've recorded a video, so I hope everyone has been doing well. I have missed recording videos actually, but I am just trying to prioritize life, spend the time reflecting on what I want the channel to look like in 2025, and also, just spending time with my family and doing all of those things. I feel like I haven't actually been in my planners a lot, so that's one thing I have noticed is recording videos actually keeps me accountable, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to record videos and have a YouTube channel. It's just for me to explain myself, which speaking out loud clarifies things for myself. So a lot of it is for my own benefit, and so I'm glad to be able to help everyone else as well as I talk through things. But I am in the process of setting up for December as well as for 2025 and just thinking about different things related to planners and life, organization, family, all of these different things. And so those plans will be in the works, but I will talk about them in the next few months, I'm assuming. So I will go ahead and say that for October, I had most of these planner pages, the classic size planner pages at least, set up in a kind of smaller more portable version of a Frankenplanner. And so these are on mini discs. I did go ahead and move in my November into this little book. And so I went ahead and moved out the October pages back into their original, not their original, but like into their separate planners. But in October, I was, for part of the month, in this Frankenplanner. So I just wanted to mention that. I do have a video where I just very quickly set up that on the go planner or that portable planner for October/November. And so I'll link that in the description so you can see that. So those classic planners are here. There are 4 planners, classic size planners, that I don't flip through in this video. That would be my 2 memory books. I have one memory book for Sophia, my 7-year-old daughter, and I have another memory book for Rose, my 1-year-old daughter. So those 2 books I don't consider part of my functional planner system, and so I don't ever flip through those on a monthly basis. The other 2 planners that are part of my functional planner system are going to be my budget planner and my personal growth planner. So those 2 planners are part of my functional planner system, but my budget has a bunch of numbers in there, and so I'm just not going to flip through it for the sake of, most of it will be blurred out anyway. So I'm not going to flip through that one. And the other one is my my personal growth planner. I actually didn't use it in October, and so it's pretty much empty pages. So just for the sake of, I have lots of planners still to flip through, and just trying to keep it a little bit quicker, I'm going to kind of like nix the budget and the personal growth planners, as well as always, not flipping through my 2 memory books. So with those removals, I have 2 planners here. There are 2 planners here and 2 planners here. So I'm still flipping through 6. It is a lot of planners. If you're doing the math here, that means I do have 10 separate planners that I use on a regular basis. I do like to compartmentalize my life into these different sections. And so yeah, we're just going to get into it. I'm going to move over to the side all of these planners, so that way I can show them to you one at a time. And so this is really no particular order, really. It just looked out that the very first one that I'm going to show you is my personal planner. This personal planner is what I consider my catch-all planner. It is the one that pretty much notes everything about my personal life. So all of the things that are in my personal life, which means minus work and minus social media, those I classify separately. But everything else, family, health, all my tasks, events, all of those things end up here first. In some cases, I do duplicate that information into some of my other personal planners, but sometimes not. This one is where everything gets housed. And again, sometimes it gets duplicated if it applies to that planner. So with this personal planner, I'm going to go ahead and go into October. For October, I decided to go ahead and use a planner that I purchased on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and it was this, where are these pages? Okay, so I apparently don't remember what I did in October, but what I thought I did was use this clearance planner that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, but I did not do that. What I did instead was use this Work Plus Life planner. And so it says on here, big things often have small beginnings. It is an October 2024 planner, as you can see here. And I pretty much just put our events in here. I did use a couple of stickers just to, decorate a little bit. But it was a very busy month, as you can see from just like all of the events here. Now, I mentioned that I don't typically include work events in here, but again, this is my catch-all. And so there were a couple of work events that kind of, I guess, infringed on or like took over my personal life. I had travel in October that was work related, and so those things did end up in here. I also had several work events that were like very late at night, like right here, and so those ended up in here. So again, this is my catch-all. I do try to put everything, all the major tasks, all the major events, mostly for personal, but of course there's some carryover with work and some other things as well. And so I was using the Work Plus Life. So the back of it looks like this. And so I just used it to keep track of tasks, as you can see here. And then I moved into just like a random mix of monthly layout pages that I had. And you can see here that I used this one sheet and the back of another. And that was pretty much it. And it's just me writing down my tasks. I do like to use a kind of interesting coding system where instead of blocking it by sections, I just put the date right here. I just put like a little like slash, and then I put the date when the tasks start. And so here you see this was on the 1st of October. Here's the 3rd of October. Here's the 8th of October. Here's the 10th of October. And I just run the to-do list like that. For when I complete it, when I check it, I will put the date that I completed the activity in parentheses. So this one, I put in parentheses that I completed on the 9th. This one, I must have completed the same day. If I don't put the date, it means I completed the same day. And so that's just kind of how I do it. It's pretty much, you can see, pen to paper, and I only use like a page and a half, essentially. I do have the rest of the Work Plus Life planner, which was this hourly layout, but I didn't use that at all. And then I had a couple more pages that I'm just trying to use up from like different random mix of like monthly layout pages, notes pages, things like that. And I have like so many. You can see I have so many of those pages. So I'm just trying to use down that stash. And so that was pretty much it for October. Again, very simple. I had the monthly layout, and then I just put down my tasks, personal tasks, on just those random sheets of paper. So that was personal planning. Okay, and then moving into this one, this is my family planner. Now, this planner is a planner where I keep track of my family and friends, text messages, Facebook messages, big announcements that my family and friends send to me. Also, if I do anything with my family and friends, so major family events, major friend events, all of those kind of go in here. So it's a little bit of like a social calendar. So again, let's get into October. Just because like for my personal planner, I had no idea what I used. Let me just go ahead and flip and see what I used. Okay, so this is a divider from an 18-month planner. Again, I purchased this on clearance. The 2025 portion of this 18-month planner I'm using for Sophia's memory book next year, but for the first 6 months of it, the 2024 portion of it, I don't like to keep their memory books for 18 months. I just like it to be a single year. And so I decided to use the first 6 months as my family planner. So I don't, for any of my other planners, my specialty planners, I don't use the monthly at all. And so we go straight into the layout, which is a classic vertical, as you can see here. And I did try, I think, in all of October to decorate. But again, I'm just making note of big family events, time I spent with my family, any major notes. I do like to go to through my text messages and write down any major text messages that I receive. That's a good way for me, at least, to clear out my text messages too, and just make sure that if there are any tasks in there that I'm kind of clearing those out. And I'm not going to be able to like name all the different sticker sets that I use, but if you see any that speak to you and you want me to look it up and send you which stickers they are, they're, I think, all Happy Planner, but I'm not really great at like naming them all. So yeah. And then here we were, I basically didn't finish out this week. I'm not really quite sure why, but because, actually, I do know why. We were on travel at the beginning of this week, and so this was kind of like a backtrack and like back planning kind of deal where I went through and just like took notes of like text messages. And so because of that, I just decided to end it on Halloween. And then I decided for November 1st that I would just put it on a random sheet of paper. You'll kind of see that in my November flip through. So that's where we are for my family. And this week I used only that one sticker. This is Halloween. I definitely could go back in and decorate it a little bit more, but you know, it's also a done month, so I can just move on. Okay, next is my health planner. So it says health, but mostly it's going to be food logging. I am not someone who exercises or goes to the gym or does any of that. I do have a smartwatch that does some of the like fitness tracking type stuff, but I kind of fall in and out of the habit of tracking things. And so I do have spots where I can do that type of stuff, but sometimes I just don't do it. So for October, I think this is where I put this divider in here just to kind of help myself at least. It doesn't have dividers just because I'm using a random mix of kids layout, horizontal layout pages. And so for October, it was pretty straightforward. Like they don't even match or, go together. But what I do is just track my food. So I did redate, just using some numbers that I had in my stash. I didn't worry about it being mismatched, any of that type of stuff. I just wrote what I ate, just chronologically. I do sometimes like track physical health symptoms in here too, and so you'll see some notes related to that, but it's really, as you can see, pen to paper. No stickers, with the exception of like this week, there were a couple of, I had used this page, so there were old notes on here, and so I used stickers to cover that up so I could rate on here, but that was really the only reason I used these stickers, and of course I used the stickers to redate, but that was pretty much it. Like I had really bad neck pain this day, and that lasted for like several days. I was like, what is going on with my body? I had a cold sore that also lasted for a very long time. Yeah, October was interesting. And so, like I said, it's just a mix of like different, at this point, kids layout pages. And that was pretty much it. I didn't use a bunch of the kids layout pages. They were just randomly in my stash. I felt like I just really wanted to try to use them up. I have a ton of, these are just like normal horizontal pages from the Happy Planner. And again, lots and lots of those pages. And so I'm going to just continue using them to track my food. And yeah, I just like tracking my food. I feel like I have a lot of health symptoms that are due to my diet, and I'm not great at eating good food for myself. And so just being more cognizant of why I'm struggling, that's good. So that's why I do that. Okay, and then the last of my classic size planners is this faith planner. Now, some of this I might have to blur out just because of prayer requests or like private information about my church, but my faith planner has been like very good. I've enjoyed doing this. For October, I did try to get back in here and like start using it again. I think for the month of September, I didn't use it at all. Like I didn't use the planner at all. And so in October, I tried to get back into using it. So this planner is the Faith Warrior Planner. It is a planner from 2019. It has kind of an interesting layout, but the divider here is super cute. I love this. Again, I don't use the monthly. And then this is a christianbook.com scripture writing plan, which I did not do in October. But again, the planner itself is from 2019. And so here's the layout. This is what it looks like. Let me try to find one that is, I'm running out of pages, so I won't be able to show you one that's like not completed, but it is like this kind of like vertical layout. It has lines and it follows the SOAP method where SOA are the columns and then the P is over here. And so I really just use this to track the Bible verses that I'm reading through. And then for this week, at least, I just threw a bunch of stickers down. And then for every week for this layout, for the Faith Warrior layout, for every week, there's also this corresponding kind of like notes and habit trackers page. And so it goes in between each week. So I did take a bunch of notes. I use this mostly for church and sermon notes at church. So I took those notes. I used this as spillover for this week, at least, for some additional notes from our study. And then I used to at the very beginning of the year, I did use these trackers, but I'm not good about doing the tracking. So I did it for this week, but you'll see I didn't do it for any of the other weeks. Okay, and then this I will blur out, mostly because there are a couple of prayer requests, but this was actually a planner that I purchased off a D-Stash, and the previous owner wrote on this page. And so I'm blurring that out just for her benefit. There's it's just book notes, but you know. And so because she had written on it, I didn't have space to write myself. And so I am reading right now through, or not reading, but listening to Heart Dive, which is a daily Bible reading plan. They follow a chronological reading plan. And so I used these pages, which I found off the internet. It's actually one of those pages where I can't find it anymore. I've had several people ask me where I downloaded these. I wish I could find it. I'm so sorry that I can't anymore. But at the time, like 5 or 6 years ago, I Googled like Bible chapters at a glance, or in a one-page summary, and I was able to find this. But again, I can't find it anymore, so I apologize. If you're looking for something similar, hopefully you'll be able to find something. But this week, October 7th, we finished Second Chronicles. And so whenever I finish, or like the Bible reading plan finishes one of the books, I just kind of stick them in here. I've been using these same pages for 2 years now. So I do have them for some chapters, but not every single chapter, because I did use some of these pages last year for the Bible reading plan that I was going through. And so this is Second Chronicles, which we finished this week. These are just kind of the notes that I have. I actually need to cover that up, just prayer request here. And so then these are the Bible verses or chapters that we were reading through. And in October, I was really focusing on trying to catch up because I did not keep up really well with the plans. I still don't keep up with it very well. But it is something where I'm trying to finish out the year, just like I did last year. This is my second year reading through the entire Bible. And so I'm very excited to do my best to continue to follow these plans. I do want to do something similar for 2025 as well. So excited about all of that. Again, that's part of like my self-reflection and all the things I'm doing when I'm not recording videos for YouTube. But we also finished Ezekiel. And this is mostly because I was like speed listening to multiple episodes. Like I would go through like 5 or 6, like right here, it's 4 or 5 days. And so I'm listening to multiple episodes, which, when I do it at one time, I can sit and kind of take notes and things like that. But when I'm doing it all at one time, it's like 4 or 5 hours worth of listening. And so I'm not quite as focused, which I don't love. But I'm, listening and doing other things like doing chores or driving or doing some other things. And so I'm just listening mostly, but I do like to track what I'm listening to. Here we did also finish Joel. I have to blur this out, but the last chapter or book that we finished was Daniel. All right, so I'm going to move this out. And so again, like the opposite side of this page was the page that the previous owner had written on. And so I didn't use this page at all. Right, so you can see it's empty. And then I didn't use the page that was in between except for making these 2 notes here, right? And so that was the week of the 7th through the 13th. Moving into the week of the 14th, I didn't use any stickers. So again, I'll have to blur out this because it's prayer requests right there. But we also finished Haggai, Zechariah, and then I took some more notes here. We finally moved into, at least I did, moved into the New Testament, which I was very excited about. So that is all there. And then again, I didn't use let me see if I did. Yeah, I didn't use the second part or like the 3rd and 4th page of that same week. I also include in my system for my faith planner these envelopes. I purchased these off Amazon. They're like die cut stamp envelopes, and they're perfect. They're almost the same size as the classic size, and I just punch it with my arc punch, and I use it to store like all these notes, the handouts, the coloring, all the things that my kids kind of bring home from Sunday school. And so I stick them in these envelopes just because I don't like to in the moment punch it. Also, I carry this to church, and so these envelopes are in there. Much easier for me to fold up the sheet of paper and put their notes in there directly, so I love that. We were going through, actually, I'm not quite sure what this is. I must have been listening to something. I'm not quite sure what this page is, but it's some notes that I have. Yeah, I don't know. And so then here, this is where we were actually, I was still listening to the Bible, the Heart Dive Bible study. And so I caught like, this was like 10 days worth. And so on Saturday, I basically listened to like entire chapters, and just like, it was all day. I did that all day. And so here, these are actually my the Sunday school notes from this week, the 20th, I'm assuming. Right, and then going into the 21st, completely empty. And empty. So this week we were on travel. We were traveling basically Thursday through. And so, yeah, I actually did listen to it in the car, but I didn't make note of it. So this is actually what it looks like blank, right? And then this is the second week. And so it alternates every single page, or every single week is like that. And so then when I came back, okay, oh, actually, here are my notes. I knew I did it. Okay, so this is for the 22nd. 22nd is Tuesday. So I did listen, and again, most of this was in the car. So like this definitely was travel. So these were what I did in the car. So yeah, that's done. And I finished out basically the month and was very close to being caught up. And then one of the other things that I included in here was this brand new faith planner, which I didn't use in October, but it's a brand new faith layout that is kind of dashboard-ish. And so I'm going to be using it in 2025, but I didn't use it in October. So I just have it in here just in case I decide to use it, but I didn't. So that is my faith planner. So yeah. All right, only 2 more planners, and honestly, it's really only going to be 1 more planner because this planner is my social media planner, and I'll just show you. What I have in here is outdated teacher, like random teacher layout pages, and I did basically these 4 boxes, and that is all, right? So these will definitely be pages that I need to kind of move to the back and recycle and reuse at some point because I did not use it at all, right? And again, they're like totally random pages, as you can see here. So like just like a random mix of everything. So I literally like wrote 4 blocks on the very first week, and that was all. But this is my social media planner. The teacher layout planner actually works really well for me for social media planning. But I also have adapted other things for social media. What I normally just do is track what I do. I don't do any planning in here. So it's mostly just like writing down when I record a YouTube video and when I post on Instagram or when I do something like major for Facebook. But yeah, it's mostly just tracking. It's not actually planning. So it did get used because I didn't record a bunch of videos or post a bunch on Instagram. So that's why it's so empty. So yeah, that was that for social media. Right, and then last, this is actually my most important planner. I would say that this is the one that I use probably the most during a day. And I use it every single day except for like days that I take off, like maybe I'll take off a Saturday. I do try to check email every single day, and so that means that I'm in here looking at my to-do list for work, and there's lots of things that are happening with this planner, but this is my work planner, and so I don't have dividers in here either because I gave those to my father-in-law several months ago. So let me try to get to where I need to go. I basically just use the dates, and so let's go to October. Okay, so this is September. All right, so let's just flip forward. This means this was September as well. That means here we are in October. So this is the beginning of October right here. These are notes for September. This is obviously September, and then here is October. This right-hand side, actually, let me just back up a step. This is a big planner that is a dashboard layout, and so for the remainder of 2024, it is a current planner. I love this planner. It was so good to me. I use this right-hand side of the dashboard to track my events. Sometimes tasks or big things that are happening, but mostly it's just to track events. For most of the year, I was using this to track my work hours. I stopped doing that because I switched to a different system to track my work hours, and that has been working out so wonderfully. I love doing that. And so I don't use it on a week-by-week basis, but just as an example, at the end of every month, I go in and just calculate my work hours. So I did this for September over here. Some of this I might have to blur out too. Yeah, no, it doesn't really matter. So I just track my work hours digitally, and then I just kind of make note of my work hours at the end of the month, right? So that's just kind of how it's laid out. One thing that I did do differently, starting I think in October, it might have been in September, but definitely one of these previous months, I decided that instead of doing it where it was like this, where it was this side and this side corresponding with each other, like the typical happy planner, what I would do instead is have it be just like one-sided. So this is of course September 30th through the 6th, and these are the notes, the tasks for September 30th through October the 6th. Okay, and so what we have here, the way that I kind of use this left-hand side is, of course, tasks. And then these 3 boxes I use as projects, meeting notes. I just kind of jot all the different things related to like big events that are happening. That kind of goes in this area. And then tasks are right here. I mean, I just follow the same format. I think in October I don't think I used any stickers. I used a little bit of washi right here. But again, this page right here is for the 7th through the 13th, and I just had it be like one single page front and back. And then I have, when I need to, if I have extra notes or extra meeting like printouts, things like that, I'll just punch it and put it in here. I was taking notes from a meeting and I had run out of spaces, and so I just used a random sheet of paper. It's actually like a random sheet of paper from Rosie's daycare, and I just wrote on the back of it and then punched it and made it the front. So that is that. The 14th I didn't write on at all, the week of the 14th. I did instead, I kind of used these like random pages that I had, like I just wrote on random sheets of paper. So this is the rest of it. This is the 15th through the 17th, going down into, I'm pretty sure this is just the 17th. And then 21st through the 27th, I also didn't write in the big page. I did decide, because I was traveling, that I would use some classic size pages. And again, I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, I had this set up for most of my October pages. I used or included these pages in here as well, so I could keep just this one single book when I was traveling. And so here I have just a couple of events, the travel. Here I didn't use the work hours like I normally do, just because since I was traveling, I didn't have access to my digital tools. And so task list, I just adapted this back inside because it was a notes page. So I just wrote only to-do lists. And then here I was still traveling, so I put my work hours, all the meetings that I had, and then again, just notes. So because we were obviously in meetings, there were so many notes, like a ton of notes. And so I didn't use this sheet here, the left-hand side for these two for notes. I use it just for tasks. And then I had notes, but I've already gone ahead and removed that just for privacy reasons. So that way I'm not showing you all the fun stuff related to like the meeting notes that I had. So that was removed already. And then I came back from the trip, and now I'm back in with my big planner, which I don't have in here right now, but I do have my big pages. I pull it out and I have it on the clipboard and I use it every week. So those are where the first 2 weeks of November are. But that is all. Okay, so I went through pretty much all of my planners. I went through my work, my social media, faith, health. I mentioned personal growth and budget are not ones I flipped through today. I'm missing one. Health, faith, I don't know, clearly my personal, oh duh, it's my family planner. I don't know why I forgot that. Okay, so work, social media, personal, faith, family, and health. And again, I skipped my budget planner and my personal growth planner. One for privacy reasons, the other because I didn't write in it at all. And then, of course, I never flipped through my 2 memory books for my 2 girls. But that is all. I didn't want to pull it all back down because I've already put some on the shelf. But that was my flip through for October. It was actually a very great month. I enjoyed it. It was very, very busy, but I really enjoyed it. It was a wonderful, wonderful just kind of like beginning to the holiday season. I'm really excited for November. Most of my November pages are in here already, and given where I am in terms of like self-reflection and prioritizing holiday and family time, I don't think I'll have a bunch of other videos. I did mention in several of my previous videos that I had some ideas for things I wanted to record, but I have put those all on the list for 2025. So what I will record in the next 2 months for November and December will be my usual planner lineup videos, some holiday planning videos, as well as planner flip through videos. There will be a little bit of 2025 and planning for that. So some videos talking about my ideas for YouTube, my ideas for planning, all of those types of things. But all of the other videos that I wanted to record, I'm going to just kick down the line until 2025. And I'll get back into the full swing of things with hopefully posting every day. with videos starting in 2025 again. But that is all. Life update, planner flip throughs, all the different things. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.